trusted news source, ABC6 News at Noon.
Good afternoon, everyone. We begin with news new at noon today. 2 men arrested and due in court for a New Bedford murder back in April. The Bristol County District Attorney's Office says 41-year-old Jonathan Medina Perez was arrested at his home in Fall River early this morning and is charged with the murder. And 33-year-old Jonathan Goncalves of New Bedford is facing accessory charges. Luis Miranda was killed back on April 29th, found shot in a car on Weld Street. We do expect to learn more about the case during their arraignments today. And in Providence, police are investigating a shooting that happened at Billy Taylor Park. They are still looking for a suspect after a 26-year-old man was shot near the basketball court around 8 o'clock last night. That victim was taken to the hospital. Investigators say they found multiple shell casings on the scene. This was the second shooting in the city in 2 days after a man was shot in the arm on Vermont Avenue on Saturday. And now the latest on that horrific mass shooting in Buffalo, New York. 10 people killed, 3 others wounded when a heavily armed gunman opened fire in a supermarket, targeting mostly black customers and employees. ABC's Rena Roy has the latest.
FBI investigators scouring through evidence after 10 people were gunned down in this top supermarket in an attack officials say was driven by racist hate.
This is an absolute racist hate crime. This is someone who has hate in their heart, soul, and mind.
18-year-old Peyton Gendron now behind bars, charged with murder. Police say he drove hours from his home to allegedly target this predominantly black neighborhood with a detailed plan to kill, wearing military fatigues and opening fire Saturday afternoon, shooting at least 50 rounds and live streaming the massacre. Employee Yania Brown McReynolds decided to hide as gunshots rang out.
I was frozen in time. I literally couldn't move. I heard all the gunshots. I heard all the bodies fall.
Others never got that chance, the community coming together to remember the 10 whose lives were stolen. 86-year-old Ruth Whitfield killed.
We're very, very close family, and my mother was the glue that held us all together.
Retired Police Lieutenant Aaron Salter Jr., who was working as a security guard at the store, losing his life after bravely taking on the shooter, allowing others to escape.
I know people in this city will never forget what he did.
As Gendron sits in jail on suicide watch after pleading not guilty, authorities now digging into his past, including alleged extremist views posted online and a 180-page document fixated on replacement theory, a white supremacist conspiracy seeking to blame Jews that believes non-whites will replace white people. The text also praising other mass shooters. Authorities also saying he had plans to continue his attack.
It appeared that his plans were to drive out of here looking to shoot more black people, as he put it.
And many are frustrated about some red flags that may have been overlooked, including the suspect's social media posts and previous threats of violence that he's made. Rena Roy, ABC News, Buffalo, New York.
And now to the weather as we take a live look outside right now with our sky cam. There's lots of sun in that sky. Tim Studebaker is in the Weather Center with your first forecast. Hi, Tim.
Yeah, certainly a lot brighter out there this afternoon compared to this morning. We started with clouds and fog this morning. A lot of that has lifted, leaving us with mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies. I think we'll see some clouds start to build in again later today before some showers tonight, maybe even a couple of rumbles of thunder later tonight. All that to come in the forecast. For now, temperatures in the 70s and even low 80s for our inland locations. Right at the coast, you're ranging between the 50s and the low 70s. It's all about wind direction off that water right now. Dew points have risen a bit once again. We are still on the muggy side. This is kind of the last muggy day of this stretch. We will start to see drier air moving in later tonight behind a cold front. Right now, winds about 10 to 15 miles per hour, and that's kind of where we stay for the rest of the afternoon. Temperatures in the 70s. That's away from the coast, cooler at the water's edge. I think clouds will start to build in later on this afternoon once again out ahead of a cold front. That cold front touches off showers and thunderstorms tonight. We'll talk about that coming up in your full forecast story.
All right, Tim, thank you. And 2 people had to be rescued from a car in the water near 10 Rod Road in Exeter this morning. Police say the white SUV here swerved through the grass and crossed over traffic and went right into this body of water. Both people inside were taken to the hospital with unknown injuries. And East Providence police are asking for your help in trying to find the suspect in a hit and run involving a pedestrian on Friday. This is surveillance video of a blue Honda Fit driving eastbound on Warren Avenue. Police say the vehicle could have a Rhode Island license plate with the numbers 1 and 5. The vehicle would also have damage on the front. The suspect is a 5'8" woman with blonde hair. Nathan Carmen's bail hearing set for today now postponed for at least 2 months. The Boston Globe reports lawyers for Carmen asked for additional time to conduct their own investigation. He will remain in prison during this delay. Carmen is charged with murdering his mother, Linda Carmen, in 2016. The murder allegedly happened on the high seas when the two were on a fishing trip that left from Jamestown. An arraignment is set for today on 3 cases of alleged voter fraud in Rhode Island. The Providence Journal reports that 3 Rhode Islanders were charged with fraud in January. 2 are accused of voting by mail in both Rhode Island and Florida. Another accused of doing the same in Rhode Island and Illinois. The alleged cases of fraud were discussed at a Senate hearing last month. And at the State House and Senate committees will meet this week to discuss legalizing the recreational use of marijuana in Rhode Island. Senator Josh Miller is sponsoring the bill on the Senate side, which would make the recreational use of marijuana legal for anyone 21 and older. Governor Dan McKee supports legalization. Massachusetts made pot legal in 2016. If the bills make it through committee this week, they'll head to the General Assembly floors for full votes. And we turn to news on our schools now. The Middletown Town Council will discuss possibly regionalizing with Newport schools tonight. Specifically, the council is reviewing legislation that would enable that regionalization. It's expected the schools would stay the same, but the administration could be regionalized. We don't know how far along these talks are, just that it'll be discussed tonight. That meeting is set to start at 6 o'clock. And Swansea voters will consider approving funds for a new Diamond Regional Vocational High School tonight at town meeting. Diamond already got a thumbs up from Westport, Somerset, and Fall River. The project is expected to cost more than $293 million if approved. A state grant would cover $148 million. That town meeting starts at 7:30 tonight at Case High School. The school vote is Article 41 on the warrant. And a sad update on Rhode Island State Police K-9 Ruby, the star of a Netflix movie who was put down on Friday. State Police announcing that Ruby had a, quote, sudden, acute, and untreatable illness. The movie about Ruby, a shelter dog, tells the story of her partnership with a Rhode Island State Police trooper. And back in 2017, Ruby rescued a teenager who was the son of a shelter volunteer who'd taken care of her as a puppy. State Police say Ruby's life will be honored privately. Still to come here on ABC6 News at noon, a look at the latest report on child welfare in Rhode Island and what it's telling us about kids in our state. Plus, desperate parents struggling to feed their kids amid a formula shortage, what Washington plans to do to help. New at noon today, Rhode Island Kids Count releasing its annual report on the well-being of Rhode Island's kids and families. The report taking a closer look at economic impacts and mental health concerns among kids. ABC6 News reporter Yanni Trigelis joins us in the newsroom with more on these findings. Yanni, what can you tell us?
Doreen, latest Factbook report finds that Rhode Island is seeing a major increase in children with mental health conditions whose families are having a workforce crisis. Now, Kids Count Executive Director tells me this rising trend has made an impact on kids' mental health.
That since the pandemic, this issue really has increased dramatically. There's been a significant increase in children and youth needing mental health services.
According to the Kids Count Factbook, Black, Latino, and Native American children are more likely to live in neighborhoods of concentrated poverty, making them face greater challenges than white and Asian children and increase their chances of having mental health problems.
See and underscore the significance of where a baby is born and where they live as a key factor in whether they're going to get a strong start in life and be able to realize their full potential.
According to the 2020 census, more than 200,000 children live in Rhode Island, and data showing 16% of Rhode Island children under age 18 live in households below the federal poverty line. Burke Bryan adding these economic factors put on these youth has a direct impact on their mental health.
Children in poverty do worse on just about everything that we measure, from education to safety to health.
And Kids Count is working to increase opportunities for these children in Rhode Island, working with state leaders to pass bills such as the Child Care is Essential bill and also bills to increase support for out-of-school time programs. In the newsroom, Yanni Trigelis, ABC6 News.
All right, Yanni, thank you. And next at noon, Washington stepping in to help with the formula shortage, what they plan to do to help parents. Back now with more on the baby formula shortage. Congress set to take up 2 bills this week designed to ease the shortage and get formula into the hands of parents. ABC's Ariel Reshef has the details.
This morning, as the formula shortage strains families nationwide, lawmakers in Washington vowing to take action to help resolve it.
We must do something as quickly as possible, but as safely as possible, and use caution for these babies.
The House working on 2 bills. The first, emergency funding to expedite the process for the U.S. to purchase formula from FDA-approved facilities abroad. The second, widening formula access under government programs. That help can't come soon enough for new parents from coast to coast.
It's hard. It's really hard. It's sad. It's scary. I mean, it's super scary. It's the only thing she can eat.
My husband's running to 3 or 4 different stores, just trying to find something.
An average 43% of formula varieties are unavailable nationwide.
And 8 states plus D.C. have more than 50% of various kinds of formula out of stock.
We went from having our formula being sent to us every couple of weeks from pharmacy to scrambling and looking all over the place for it.
Mom Amy Dolan, who lives in Flanders, New Jersey, says she's faced a crisis finding the formula her baby Connor needs because of his milk protein allergy.
We've been actively looking all the time. Every night we lay in bed and we're checking what websites we can find and how much it's going to cost. People saw it as an opportunity to buy all this formula and, price gouge at parents who will pay anything.
The FDA now saying it is taking steps to dramatically improve supply in the U.S. in a matter of weeks. And one of the major companies warning that this crisis could last through the end of the year. Many families now taking to social media to alert one another when there is a restock of formula at pharmacies and grocery stores in their areas. Ariel Reshef, ABC News, New York.
And now, your ABC6 Storm Tracker weather with meteorologist Tim Studebaker.
So the last several days we've been dealing with the return of summer-like humidity. First time we've seen it in quite a while. Today is the last day of that stretch, so a little bit of good news there. One more somewhat muggy day to go. After that, later tonight, we'll watch for a line of showers, maybe a few rumbles of thunder late in the evening. That is a cold front, and that cold front will mean pleasant and dry conditions starting on Tuesday, and the pleasant and dry conditions will take us through most of the work week, but humidity comes back later on. Temperatures into the 70s and 80s for our inland locations, and a wide range of temperatures along the coast right now, thanks, of course, to the winds off the water. Westerly only 59, 60 in Newport, but 75 in Westport, 72 in New Bedford, and we're already at 80 degrees in Attleboro, so very widespread in temperatures. If you're in Westerly, you want to go somewhere warm, you want to go away from the coast to see warmer temperatures than you're seeing right now. Dew points to the measure of humidity, again, on the increase once again today. It's the last day that we'll be dealing with some of these muggy conditions. Some drier air will make its way into our area overnight tonight into tomorrow. For now, on the dew point scale, we're in that sticky category. As we work our way into Tuesday, we'll drop down to the pleasant category behind a cold front. Couple of things going on with that cold front, though. First of all, it'll change our wind direction a little bit. Secondly, it will also bring some shower chances later tonight. But before it gets here, it brings some severe storms off to our west. We'll talk about that in a moment here. Winds about 10 to 15 miles per hour right now, again, off the water for our coastal locations. So you've got cooler temperatures along the shoreline right now. Here's the cold front approaching on Futurecast. As we go through the rest of this afternoon, we should see clouds start to build back in. And the cold front itself will touch off some strong to severe thunderstorms west of our area, but they weaken very significantly as they approach Rhode Island and southeastern Massachusetts. We should not be too concerned with severe weather for tonight, but rather some showers, maybe a couple of rumbles of thunder, mainly between about 8 p.m. and midnight. Best chance for most of us will be around 9 or 10 o'clock. So again, the severe weather outlook brings most of the chances west of our area. These storms are going to die out and diminish pretty quickly as they approach southern New England, so not too much of a concern, at least for our local viewing area, Rhode Island, southeastern Massachusetts. So clouds will start to build back in again as we go through the rest of the afternoon. We're on the muggy side. Temperatures not terribly warm, but the humidity is still there, mid-70s. Again, late evening showers, perhaps a couple of rumbles of thunder, not looking for much in the way of severe storms here. The severe threat is pretty minimal for our local area. Evening showers and thunder giving way to a clearing trend for the overnight. Temperatures dropping down into the 50s, and humidity will be dropping down overnight tonight as well. And the humidity stays low as we head into Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday with a mix of sun and clouds. We are relatively pleasant and dry. Heading into the end of the week, humidity starts to come back. Temperatures start to go up again. We're in the 70s by Friday with somewhat muggy conditions. We're in the 80s by Saturday, and we'll stay near 80 degrees for your Sunday. Doreen.
All right, temps like that make you think of the beach. And then Narragansett Town Council will vote on approving beach fees at the town beach and make some other changes tonight. One of those changes proposes restoring no-fee passes to members of the Narragansett Indian Tribe of Rhode Island. That meeting is set for 7:30 tonight. Well, coming up, back on the stand, Amber Heard is testifying today in the dueling lawsuit with Johnny Depp. And remembering Naomi Judd, the beautiful celebration of her life in Nashville. The Johnny Depp-Amber Heard legal drama continues today after a previously scheduled break. Heard returns to the stand today after testifying that Depp physically abused her on multiple occasions. Depp is suing Heard over a Washington Post op-ed she wrote, calling herself a, quote, public figure representing domestic abuse. Depp was not specifically named in the article, but he says it caused him to lose some high-paying acting jobs. He testified that he's never been violent toward any woman. The two were married from 2015 through 2016. Nashville's Ryman Auditorium hosted a celebration of life for country music legend Naomi Judd on Sunday. Hundreds of fans turned out to pay their respects and listen to a televised concert paying tribute to her career. Naomi Judd was 76 years old when she died on April 30th from a self-inflicted gunshot wound, according to her daughter Ashley. She died the day before the Judds were to be inducted into the Country Music Hall of Fame. And director Baz Luhrmann's new Elvis biopic is getting the seal of approval from the King's own daughter. Lisa Marie Presley calls the film spectacular and says she's already seen it twice. Presley also says leading man Austin Butler's performance as her father is Oscar-worthy. Tom Hanks co-stars as Elvis's manager, Colonel Tom Parker, in the movie that debuts next month. And when we come back, some special snapshots from Chelsea's wedding in Charleston over the weekend. And we're going to check back in with Tim Studebaker, too, for another look at that afternoon forecast. We'll be right back. Well, finally this afternoon, we are sending our congratulations to Chelsea and her new husband, Jonathan. These gorgeous photos from their wedding this weekend in Charleston. We are wishing them well as they start their new life together as husband and wife. Absolutely a stunning bride, as we knew she would be.
Of course,
yes,
yeah. Congratulations to the two of you. Just fantastic. It looks like it worked out really well weather-wise.
It did. Of course, you know, that's the big thing when you're a meteorologist getting married. You're checking the weather so far out. She was so nervous, but it turned out to be just the perfect day.
And you were there.
I was. It was so much fun. And, you know, all she wanted was a party where everyone had fun, and she sure got that wish. And some weddings you go to and you see the bride, she's having the time of her life. And that was Chelsea for sure.
Good. I'm so glad to hear that. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
As far as our weather here is concerned, we're still muggy, but this is the last day of this muggy stretch. We do have drier air on the way. To get to that drier air first, we're going to have to get through a cold front late this evening. That'll bring a couple of showers, perhaps a rumble of thunder, mainly between 8 and midnight. Best chance around 9 or 10 o'clock tonight. After that moves through, pleasant and dry conditions for several days, right through about Thursday, and then the muggy air starts to work its way back in, and it's warmer again as well for the end of the week into the weekend.
All right, Tim, thank you. And thank you for joining us for the news at noon. The news continues first at 4. Have a great day, everybody.